Ambient drones with a Strymon Dig. Let's do it. All right, I've got my signal chain set up to create ambient drones with a Strymon Dig. Let's review the parts and pieces. First of all, I've just got a clean sound for the guitar. And then on the floor, we've got a series of effects. From my right to my left, we've got first a compressor. Next, I've got the ever-present volume pedal, my trusty Morley little Alligator. And then next in line, I've got a looper. I'm using the TC Electronic Ditto X2 looper. And then finally, I've got the Strymon Dig that we're going to use to create the drone ambience. So let's talk about the Dig for just a moment. Let me go ahead and turn it on, and let's just check out the basic sound of the delay. The thing that you'll want to note about the Dig is that there are 3 delay models. There's the 2496, the ADM, and the 12-bit. If you're interested in learning more, you can check out my full demo of the Dig. One of the things I'm interested in is what each one of those delay models sounds like when I crank up the repeats and get the delay into self-oscillation mode, because that's the technique I'm going to use to create the drone effect. So let's check that out real quick. What I'm going to do is just flip through each of the 3 modes, and I'm going to crank up the repeats, and let's have a quick listen to what we get. First off is the 2496 mode. So I'm going to go ahead and crank up the repeats. They're all the way up now, and let me go ahead and play a chord. Okay, that's a pretty smooth sound. And it is kind of, dying out. Let me go ahead and play something else here a little sharper so you can hear the percussive aspect of it. With a 2496, the repeats are going to be clean, like all the way through the repeats. That's what it's designed to do. Let's listen to the ADM mode. I'll play the same thing. Here we go. As it dies out, you can hear a little more grit in it. Let me go ahead and play that same kind of percussive notes here. Okay, so what you can hear as the delay kind of fades out very, very slowly is that we get just a little grit in the tone, and we get some high-end roll-off on that tone. So that's actually kind of interesting. But let's go ahead and try the 12-bit. Here we go. Nice mellow tone again. Oops. Let me turn on the delay. Here we go. Nice mellow tone again. Ooh, you can kind of hear what's going on, right? Lots of grit. Let me play percussive. All right, now that delay is kind of interesting. A lot more grit and a lot more top-end roll-off as the notes fade out very, very slowly. And the self-oscillation effect with the repeats turned all the way up is more pronounced. So as I kind of experimented with the Dig, that's the delay type I kind of ended up on. Another thing that I've got set is the modulation switch is set to deep because I want more of a stereo sound. Now we need to kind of build a musical bed for the drone. And this is where the ditto comes in. So if you've got another looper, this is where you're going to want to bring that in. And what I'm going to do is play a drone tone. I'm going to play a low E. And then I'm going to play just a simple 3 or 4 note kind of, I don't even know if you want to call it a melody, just a motif. Something like that. We'll see what comes out when I actually play it. And I'm going to use the volume pedal. So I'm going to do a layer of a drone. You'll see me kind of save that, let it go. And then I'll do one other loop layer of just some little motif. Okay, so that's kind of the musical bed, if you will. And you'll note that I kind of offset the layers in terms of where they started and ended. I'm going to go ahead and turn that back on and engage the Strymon Dig. And I'm going to start twisting some knobs a little bit, and let's see what happens. Here we go. All right, that's not bad. The delay's a little short for me. It sounds a little 50s science fiction like. So what I'm going to do now is kind of bring that delay down, make it a little bit longer. We'll chop the repeats off to stop everything. And let's try this again. I like that a lot. Now, with the TC Electronic Ditto X2, I can actually reverse the loop, and many other loopers can do this too, so this is not unique. I'm going to go ahead and set that up, and let's see what that sounds like. Okay, I like that too. Let me bring the delay, let me set the delay to the longest setting. So this is going to provide about 1.6 seconds of delay, and I do have time 2 set all the way to the dotted quarter notes. So actually there's a 3.2 second follow-on delay. And let's kind of see what that sounds like. All right, there's the drone. That's what I was looking for, something that's kind of amorphous. Now just imagine if I slapped a nice big honking reverb on top of that. That would be very, very lush, rich, broad, wide, lots and lots of ambience. So what I'm looking for. Now, one of the other things you can do with a Dig, especially on the 12-bit setting, is if you crank it all the way up, you can actually stop the looper input and let this thing go, and it will self-oscillate for quite some time. Let's give that a try real quick. I like that a lot. One of the great things about self-oscillation, with the 12-bit delay type is that you do get an increase, or a continuous increase, I should say, of the dirt in the delay. You also get a kind of a metamorphosis, if you will, as the top end continues to roll off and things become more and more indistinct. Eventually, that delay will run out. I have let it go. Some of it depends on how much energy you put into the signal, but after a couple of minutes, it does tend to die out, at least for my experiments. But, you know, there are some pretty good sounds you can get out of the Dig. I think it's a deceptively simple delay that has a lot of uses. There you have it, techniques for creating ambient guitar drones with the Strymon Dig. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to my channel. I've got ambient guitar-related content coming every week. And as always, I'll see all of you on the next video.